Welcome to On the Line With. I'm your host, Hanley. On the Line With is an arts podcast with a deep dive on mental health, substance abuse, and many social issues and causes at the forefront of our society. Join me every second Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern as I sit with various guests to discuss their art, personal stories, and inspiration from behind the microphone. You'll be on the line with me, Hanley, every second Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you. Welcome back to On the Line With episode 6 of season 2. I'm here with Ken on the beat. I'm going to let him go ahead and introduce himself. So go ahead, my dude, and introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? I'm Ken on the beat. I'm a 20-year-old producer, beat maker, artist. You can find my links. You can find me on IG, Ken on the beat. You can find my BeatStar, kenotb.beatstars.com. Just ready for the taking, man. Know how it is.
All right, so tell me how you started in music. What made you get into it? Like, when did you start?
I started producing music summer of 2016. Before that, I was really DJing a lot, and I dabbling a bit here and there, but I got serious when summer 2016. That's when I got serious about beat making.
Okay, and since then, how many artists have you worked with, do you think?
I've worked with Dirty Laundry, Bully Zone, Flacco, Waldo THR, worked with my buddy Raz. He's actually the guy that I started doing the whole mixing process with, because he's a rapper as well from my area. And apart from that, and Halls as well. And some other people that probably bought my beats in the States, man. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite type of beat to make now these days? Like right now, what would you say if you went home right now to make a beat? What would you think you make?
Right now, at this second, I'd make like a trap beat. I would make a trap beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know, man. Just because I had a good weekend, it was actually like a relaxing weekend, which is kind of weird, that I would do a trap beat, but just because of the mood I'm in, I would kind of do a trap beat just to get popping and shit, just to like hype myself up, because it's a good day today. It's sunny outside, it's beautiful, and I really started doing trap, and I got versatile and developed into other styles. But trap is really how I got my sound. Like trap, my sound is more like a trap sound.
So like basically your beats were birthed from trap then?
Yeah, that's it. That's
okay.
the fucking egg, man. The trap is the egg, and that's it, man. Everything just came out from that. Like, even my boom bap beats have some trap elements in there, And you have that snappiness.
And you said you're only 20?
28.
Oh, 28.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'm old,
whoa, man. No, I thought you said 20, so I was like, shit. I didn't think so. I was going to say, damn, homie looks all right for his age.
Yeah, I know, man.
But no, 28, okay, yeah.
28, man. So I started producing. I was, 24.
Okay, so you're 24... You're producing. What inspired you to produce?
Bad breakup, man. To be honest,
bad breakup,
bro. And just like that was the trigger. But really, the whole build up to it was, I always imagine like making my own music and making something good. Like since I was a kid, I always had this feeling that was like that little tingle. That feeling that was always hidden behind. And that was always like in the background, like trying to lurk out and be like, yo, like, I want to come out, right? So when that breakup happened, I just got into it, and I don't know, man, it just became, it was a hobby, and now I'm turning this into a profession, man. Like it's my passion. It's what I love to do. I feel like I'm working a day in my life, man.
Well, you know what they say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly, bro.
And you know what? You've done a lot this year, because, like, I've seen your name all over.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know I've seen you in the past, like, your name on a few beats. Like,
mm-hmm.
I think you did something for Lil G the Don, didn't you?
No, I didn't, man. Honestly, I started reaching out in this city, like, December 2020. Like, it's not even a year yet that I've been really out there. Like I was in the background, like working on my sound, working on getting my shit good before I started presenting it. Right? I didn't want to present a shitty product. When you go, at the Dragon's Den, you don't bring a shitty product. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of ideology that I had behind the whole thing. Like I wanted to get good, smoking a lot of this and picked and
I
fucking
love
thinking.
I love how it lit up more when we talked about the weed.
Yeah, shit. But yeah, man, just finding myself and just grinding, and that's just I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah.
And then out of the blue, you're part of Stay Platinum now.
Yeah, man.
So how's that feel?
Feels surreal almost, man. Like it felt really surreal when it happened. Like
you guys looked like you celebrated being a team that one night.
We did. We did, and like
I should have came to that party. I wish I was invited.
Oh man, it was a sick party. I think it was my birthday party too, bro. Like it was like, it wasn't that.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, thank you, bro. No, it was actually before my birthday, but still, anyways, we did have like a celebration party for all the artists there, and we had like the pep talk from our leader Bully Zone, and shout out to Bully Zone.
Shout out Bully Zone.
But yeah, man, so it felt really surreal, and I just presented myself the way that I would normally present myself. Like I didn't want to send him. I sent him a couple beats by email, just to hear me out. He actually did live on the live with Yardy. Shout out to Yardy, and that was like the first like project with Bully Zone, and it was all like over the internet. It was nice, but
it was dope. It was a dope concept how they did it.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
That's actually one of the tracks we play on the season finale tonight. Is that nice. So your beat is on the season finale.
There you go, man. Fucking right.
So that's a little surprise. See?
Yeah.
Those things we don't know until we talk.
That's it, man.
But yeah, that was a dope beat, definitely.
Thank you, sir.
You do have a dope sound. You were smart to wait until you were ready with your craft to bring it out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, keep it like low key for a little bit, pass it around, let people hear it like you did, and then bring it out to the city, and came out with a bang. I mean, you did that You're Real track too, right?
Yeah, If You're Real.
If You're Real, sorry.
Yeah. That was the first project. That was like the first time we actually met. So after what like that little story I was saying with the beats, and then after like he's like, "Yo, send me more beats." I'm like, "Bro, I'm gonna show up. I want to fucking meet you. Like when you want to meet." He's like, "Oh fuck, like when can you?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know, man. I think it was on a Sunday or something like that." And he's like, "Okay, man, come on." And me, I was nervous, bro. Like really, I'm a shy guy. Like I'm really an introvert. Like at home, like I like to be by myself. Like And it's nothing bad. It's not that I get socially awkward. It's just like when I meet new people, like I get that like little anxious feeling.
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, like, fuck, I don't know if I want to go there alone. So I'm like, I asked Laundry, like, I asked Dirty Laundry. Shout out Dirty Laundry. Motherfucker, you're a real one. So, no.
Yes,
So, no, I asked Laundry. I'm like, bro, like, you want to tag along, bro? Like, you know him and shit. He's like, yeah, man, I'll come along. Then I go and pick him up, and I had beats and shit, and I played beats, and Shane always have bars on him, right? Like, he always has something written down. So he just started, like, mixing and matching some shit, and he did like the he did a verse that we did for If You're Real. I was like, yo, that's dope. Like, bring that to Bully. So sure enough, we get there. We get to the old, to Borough Media, but at the tattoo parlor because they didn't have the studio built then. And we get in there, man, meet Bully Zone, sit down, talk, smoke like a shit ton of backwoods. Like, I don't know, man, we smoked like probably like a quarter ounce of weed, solid, like solid.
That's man. Bully Zone.
That's Bully Zone. I was like, holy shit, man, I was fucking high out of my tree, bro.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, he really stumped me, man. He's like, just out of the blue, he's like, okay, man, so you guys brought something? Like, you guys come correct? And I'm like, bro, fuck yeah, man. So I slapped that beat for If You're Real, and Shane did a verse. And Bully's like, oh, yo, it's dope, but like you got something else? And Shane spit his actual verse that he has in If You're Real. And Bully's like, yeah, that's the fucking one. You got to do it, man. And we did the track. Like we did the track in about 5 hours, like all that in about 5 hours, bro. Like record, the mix and master got done a bit before. Bully recorded the day after, I think, but still, bro, like all the ideas were laid down for that beat right there. So. And that was like the introduction.
Yeah. And
that's exactly what it was. It was like, what's up? Like I really proved myself to him, and like he tells me over and over again,
And they have the video for it now too.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
It's a good video.
That was my first beat, like my first production that was put on a video. Ever.
There you go.
Ever.
these small achievements mean a lot, man.
Absolutely.
When you're starting out, like how you are, like how you're bringing it to the city slowly but surely.
Yeah, that's
like these small achievements mean a lot. Like I know when I was rapping, like small achievements, like opening for someone at a show or something was like an achievement, you know.
Yeah.
Like, opening for Joe Budden was a dope achievement for me because you're my favorite rapper. You know what I mean? So I was like sick.
Fuck
but
yeah, bro.
I mean, fuck all that talk about me because there's a whole big story behind that. I tell the story all the time. I'm not gonna do it this time, but. Like I said, like how these small achievements mean a lot. Like when you put them together, it's a bigger achievement. You know what I mean?
That's it, man.
So, being out of the city, do you find it harder to get to artists, or do you find it easier using social media?
Easier with social media. You know, you get in touch a bit with them first, and you know, even organically. Sometimes when I go at Burroughs, you know, like randomly, like I go every Monday, but you know. Sometimes when I go on a Thursday or some shit, you know, whatever, and there's artists there, like I meet them organically, right? So I kind of build my network like that too, and it's not hard at all for me because it's what I feel I need to do and I like to do it, you know, like it doesn't feel like a chore, bro. Like I'm actually excited to go, like, you know, if I live closer, like in the city, I'd probably be there every fucking night. You know what I mean? Like I do my beats in the day, do my networking, social media in the day, and then at night, evening, I'd go at Burroughs, you know, but. You know, family life and shit doesn't allow that. And, well, family life, you know, single father life, 50-50 custody shit doesn't allow that. And, you know, it's fine, man. I'm going to make the most of my situation that I'm in, you know.
Do the best with what you got, man.
Yeah, that's it.
You know
and my daughter's always going to come first, you know. Like,
family first,
even though I'm pushing a lot for this music, man, my daughter is really my number one priority, bro. Like, you know, like I will give up this music shit tomorrow if like her life depends on it. You know what I mean? Like
talking about like having a daughter and being in the music. Shout out to Spitting Image.
Yes, sir. His new album.
Song about his daughter with Cat Pug. Like, you know what I mean? Talking about how she comes first and how she changed his life and stuff.
Yeah, man.
So like basically that's what you're saying. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. You know, and that's
it comes first. It's always family first, regardless if it was a child or not. Like, you know what I mean? I always put my family first, no matter what. Like, if something has to be canceled, something has to be canceled. You know what I mean? It could be fixed later.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me more about this music, man. I feel like you have more of a story about this music, like.
All right, so I really have an EDM background, bro. Like, before I started producing, man, like, music's been a part of me since I'm a kid, all right? So, my father's dad was a really good musician. Like, he would play piano, mandarin, like, guitar, drums. Like, he would play trumpet, anything. Like, anything he would put his hands on that would play music, he would fucking play it, and really well. And, you know, and as a kid, you know, as a baby boy, you know, like you look up a lot to your grandfathers, right? You're like, oh shit, like this old guy can do a lot of things, right? So that got me really intrigued, and he showed me a bit, and I was playing piano as a kid. Like I actually took piano courses and shit. I lost a lot of that while growing up as a teenager because I wasn't really practicing that much. But, you know, in high school, I played bass all through high school, bass guitar, right? So the bass, all the bass lines, how bass hits, how bass grooves, like that's really something I understand and I feel, you know. So I put that in my craft today.
Yeah, your beats seem to be bassy. Like, you seem to have like a high thing for like
kicks and
very
punch,
big, like hard snares and hard drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that definitely.
Because it gets your shit moving, man. Like I like bongos too. I put a lot of bongos in my beats, bro.
That's dope.
Man, and you don't really like hear it. Like you do if you listen to it like carefully, but like me, I know it's there, right? Because I made the damn thing, but like it is there and it adds that like little groove in my beats, and it's in almost all my beats. I have a 90% of my beats. I have bongos in there, man.
Okay.
Straight up.
Just to interject for a sec, if you hear kids yelling, it's because we're recording outside and we're by like a little park, so excuse the excess noise, but we're doing the best we can in these COVID times.
That's it, you know.
So yeah, keep going. Tell me more about this EDM background. Yeah. I know we talked about it when we're on Rum Chats.
Yeah. So so EDM. So all through high school, playing bass guitar. I was in grade 12. And so I discovered, you know, electronic music. First electronic music I listened to was like DJ Splash. It was like those fucking super fast, like fucking fast techno songs there. So I was like, oh shit, this shit's awesome, man. So I started listening to that, and I got into that. And when I graduated high school, I moved down here for college. That shit didn't work out, but then I started DJing as a hobby, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked it, but I wasn't the best, there was a lot of drug abuse too back in those days.
We'll get into that.
That's it, so it was just a whole lot of that, man. But part of the music, I did that. I wasn't perfecting it as I'm perfecting my craft today. And then I DJ'd. That didn't work out. Really didn't work out for me. Like, I did a good gig for DJ Blend, but I had a couple shitty transitions. I heard about it, like my shit was off a bit. Okay. It was a nice gig though. Like, I had made a montage. It was like really well done, and people were having fun. But I noticed, and the club owner noticed, like all the people behind the scene that weren't dancing noticed that it was a bit choppy, So then at that point, I just said, like, fuck, like I don't want to DJ anymore, like I don't know. I don't think it's my scene, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's my scene. You
lost that passion you thought you had.
That's it. Like, I just, after 5 years of DJing, and I wasn't getting any better. Like, I was at this stage, and I wasn't getting any better than that. For like 3 years, I was like, holy fuck. So I just said, why not try to make it? If I make my music my own way, maybe it's going to spark that DJ again, right? So I started producing EDM, and I was like, all right, that's cool. Like, that's all right. But still, you start producing, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Right. So, but then again, my buddy Raz came, and I met him, and he came to my place, like, yo, like, I rap a channel. Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah. Like, then he showed me, like, some songs of his, like, yo, you should start, like, producing hip-hop. And I was like, fuck, all right, man. And then I started producing hip-hop, and the rest is history. I just got better and better and better and better at producing and investing in quality samples and quality sounds and quality plugins, VSTs, like, not just getting the free shit.
Do you have a favorite track that you've had made on one of your beats to date?
Like one of my personal tracks, or
like someone made a track on your beat. Like, do you have a favorite one?
Honestly, man, I have honestly, I don't think. Yeah, okay, hold on. If I will reject that selfish box thing, because, I think, honestly, my best song on a beat that I made was a song that I made that's in French. That it was really self-reflective on me. But apart from that, I would say,
that's fair Dirty. To say,
yeah, it's like, I think it is, but if I go on the other side of the coin and I see someone else, I would say Dirty Laundry. Like him, like when we did On God, me and DL,
there's a lot of promotion for that, man. He pushed that like crazy.
I know, man. I've never felt this much. Like, the studio magic that they talk about we've experienced it. That, dude, it was like super cool. It was like 3.5 hours or 4 hours. The beat, like, we did the beat from scratch. The beat got made. He fucking spat his shit. I mixed and mastered everything right there, and the song was done. Like 4 hours, and like it was just like a trance, bro. It was just like it felt like 8. But it seemed like 1. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was fucked. Like, it was really weird, but it was like amazing.
Sounds like you and DL have like a very good connection.
Yeah, man.
Sounds like he'll probably produce like one of his projects in the future, I think.
I feel that if there's one reason that, like, I blow up for some reason, it would be because of a song with DL, and DL would blow up too. To be honest, man, because I as soon as I heard his voice, man, like, and that was back in like 2018, like when it was like when they started Cypher Gang, bro. Like, I heard DL, like, fuck this, I don't even remember the song that he made, but the one with the fucking orange camo suit. My memory is fried right now, which anyways, but
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, but dude, as soon as I heard his voice on that song, I was like, oh man, like, fuck, like, I want to work with that guy, like, I'm interested in working with that guy, I think we could do something good. And I reached out to him and Tyler in a group chat. I don't know why, man. I was just like, trying to reach out, but my shit wasn't really good, man. I sent him like a couple beats, and they were like, not really good, and like, fuck. So time went by, and then I went to Young LA's LA, and at his place, because he reached out to me. He's like, yo, I like your shit, man. And like, I'd posted a couple of recent good beats on YouTube, and I was starting to like kind of putting my finger in it, you know. So then he reached out. I was like, yo, man, I want to meet you. Like, fucking come over. And sure enough, I went there. And I worked a bit with LA. And Shane came that night, too. He just popped by. And I met Shane right there. And, like, he freestyled on, like, 7 of my beats. And the shit was all dope. And I was just like, wow, like, what the fuck are we recording this right now? You know, like, like those like could have been like easy, like 7 verses on 7 different tracks, like right there, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So, you know, just the way that my sound sounds with his voice and his sound and his swag, you know, it just meshes so well, bro. It meshes well. You know, like nobody can deny it. Nobody who's listened to either Moonwalking or On God cannot say that like our sound like.
Oh no,
bro,
you guys
like,
definitely have a good chemistry. I won't lie. I know that I definitely like see and get the vibe for sure.
Yeah.
So
man.
That's why I think like if anybody produces a project for Dirty Laundry, it's gonna be you.
Yeah, and you know what? Even if you'd like to make a project with someone else, I'm not even gonna be mad. You know, like I'm not that kind of guy.
No,
you know, but
of course,
like I know, bro, that
you
like
know, there's always other producers who are trying to get into. So
yeah,
it's a cutthroat industry, bro.
It is, bro. It is.
You're lucky. You're on the label, so they're gonna come to you for beats first. So,
that's it.
You know, so
yeah, man. Like they have like 80 something beats of mine over there, bro. Just like, you know, I got a couple sold. You know, obviously I'm just saying like I know that's what's there, but there's probably like a good 20 that's sold. You know, like to date. So it's not bad, man. You know what I mean? Like it's. But yeah, me DL. It's if there's something that blows up in the city, man. Like one of the next up and comers, man. Like it's you know. Not to brag, bro, but it's probably gonna be us, man. You know, like he has that sound and that quality, and he has that drive too, man.
All right, I'm gonna take your word for it.
Oh yeah, go do it.
I'm gonna take your word.
Do it,
for
man.
it,
I want to put in that work, bro. Like I don't want to do this halfway.
You seem like you like making beats like as much as you can. And when you're at the studio at Burrow Media, do you make beats there?
I made a couple times there, but it's not like, you know, like all my shit is at home, right? So I'd rather make the beats at my place. Like I got my in-house studio, you know, no problem there, but like I'll go in there and produce and help like with songs and shit, you know, like that's what I like to do as well, you know, like especially if it's on my beat too. It's like, you know, I want to hear what's going on in the recording process, you know, so just so if I can give my 10 cents, you know, and fuck, I do. And you know, and it works, man, you know, like everything sounds good, and you know, we have a good chemistry and everything is right, you know, the vibe is just super cool.
All right.
Yeah.
So what other projects or anything you have coming out with anybody?
Right now I'm starting a project with Flocko. Shout out to Flox.
Yeah, shout out Flocko.
Shout out my dude. And
He'll be
man,
on the show soon.
Good, man. So yeah, no, I'm working on like EP with him. It's gonna be like most of my beats. I think there's like 1 or 2 beats that are not gonna be mine, but still, like it's we're gonna work together basically on some custom beats.
Exactly produced by you, basically.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly.
That's
me and Twig. Like Twig's gonna mix it and shit, you know. But like it's
shout out Twigs.
Yeah, shout out to Twigs, man. So yeah, it's gonna be that's the next project that's coming up, and I'm also working on a project for myself because. You know, I spoke with Bully, and it's a good idea because I can, you know, I'm more like pop R&B shit, you know, like I sing. I don't really rap the best, but I can sing okay, you know, like, you know, I have this, I know like the melodies and shit, how to place melodies, and so I know that I can do something with that. And I spoke to Bully, and he's like, yo, like that's a good idea, why not? So I'm gonna work for an album for myself for fall around I'd say around the end of October. We should expect like some kind of teaser or something starting to come out, you know, about that. So those are the two, the short term and the mid long term project.
Do you have a name for the project?
Not yet. I have like 3 songs written for that project. I'm still. I'll find it through.
An EP, an LP.
It's gonna be like an 8 to 9, maybe 10 track. Like
so an LP. Then.
Yeah, an LP. And it's not gonna be an album with like 16 tracks there. Like it's.
Yeah,
you know, like I'll start with that. You know, like I did singles, but I never did like an album, right? So still, this is something that's new for me, and I want to do it right. So, you know, if I can start with an LP, why not? You know, like I'm gonna cover like a lot of aspects of my life, you know, and it's gonna be about me. So, in that process of writing the other songs, I will find a name for the project. you know, I will come up with something that's just gonna come magically through the inspiration.
Yeah, it'll be you. You'll find something through the creating.
That's it, through the creative process.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, with Phlox, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it too much because he does. You know, it's gonna be like a surprise project. It's gonna be fucking dope. You know, Phlox has the swagger, man. It's gonna be some nice vibey shit, man. Like, bro, it's gonna be
definitely some trap shit.
Yeah, some trap, bro. But you'd be surprised, man. Like, there's like 3 songs we did today, bro, and they're like super swag, man. Like 90s shit, you know, like like really bringing the best out of Phlox.
See, if I hear 90s beats come from you, that's gonna probably inspire me to get back in the game.
That's
man. My type of shit. It's 90s beats.
Yeah, man. And
all right. So yes, a secret playlist that only certain people can get. Oh shit.
Yep. That's it. Other people got to look at my beat store, man. That's what it is, you know. Like,
so that song you sent me, what was it called again?
Last Piece of Me. I think that's the one that I sent you.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's one of my personal ones.
Did you want to introduce that track right now for the people to listen to? Because we're going to take a second and then we're going to come right back.
Absolutely. So Last Piece of Me essentially is just me. When I wrote that song, I was in a vibe that, like, you know, even when I felt like in my old relationship, when I was at my lowest, like I was still being put down by my significant other. And it's just basically about all that, you know, and the kind of life that I was living a bit at the time too, which is kind of, you know, it's a dilemma. So there's a balance within the lyrics that listeners will have to listen to the lyrics and really decipher the whole message, you know, really get to, you know, it covers both sides, you know, like I'm guilty for actions that I did, and, you know, she's guilty for actions she did, you know, and that's what it is. And I adjust both sides without being disrespectful. That's
finally an artist who explains the song. So we're gonna listen to Last Piece of Me by Kin on the Beat, and we'll be right back.
Kisses and a good laugh. Shit was too good to be, I knew it wouldn't last. Flying first class with that ass in my hand, selling bags, getting bands, getting pussy on the man. I just wanna live a life of a boss, without all the trouble with the cops. No, 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 I just wanted you to set me free. Why are you trying to get the last piece of me? Yeah, what do you get out of seeing me empty? You always find a way to put me on my knees. I'm a broken man with big dreams. So why are you trying to get the last piece of me? Now that you're gone, I just wanna level up. Find me down the stairs, you bet your ass I'm coming up. Follow up with all the haters, wait for me to fuck it up. Posting on the Instagram, they always want me to hit them up. But I'm in my lane, trying to get back to me another day. I just celebrate, smoking Mary Jane, and I'm getting laid. Listening to my tunes at the same time, yeah, I'm getting paid. Baby, please just pour some tequila up in my lemonade. Yeah, 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 yeah. What I don't show is that I'm empty, but I keep on putting that pressure, so y'all won't see that shit never. I'm broken from inside, the palace where my soul resides. Rebuild it one more time, rebuild it one more time. Why are you trying to get the last piece of me? Yeah, what do you get out of seeing me empty? Yeah. You always find a way to put me on my knees. I'm a broken man with big dreams. So why are you trying to get the last piece of me? Let me tell you, baby girl, I feel alone in this world. Let me tell you, baby girl, I feel left out on this earth. It's really hard for me to fit in anywhere. Got a lot of anxiety, it ain't fair. I'm just trying to wake up from this nightmare and have a good time like a kid at a fun fair. It ain't that easy when you've been through shit that keeps on creeping. But it's best to just keep your head up, keep pushing on and please just don't give up, no. Use what's hurting you inside, telling you today's not the day that you're gonna die. You always find a way to put me on my knees. I'm a broken man with big dreams, so why are you trying to get the last piece of me?
And we're back from listening to Last Piece of Me by Kin on the Beat. We're going to get into the mental health and substance abuse talk with Kin on the Beat because he says he has a story to tell. And as you know, I like when my guests are honest and open, so we're going to see what he has to say. So we'll start with, what kind of mental health, issues, what started them, what were they?
I had just depression. I had that phase of depression a couple times. I had bad anger issues, anxiety, and I've been called narcissistic. I have, and I've never been diagnosed with that, but just all. I think that those are mental. Anxiety is a real thing, bro. It's hard to manage, man.
Part of your mental health. Anxiety, man, can destroy it, man. I have bad mental health.
That's the thing, mental health, and even that through the anxiety, the depression, I started using drugs to cope with this shit, right? Just to try to escape how the shittiness that I was feeling, right?
What kind of drugs were you using?
I was a big upper guy, man. I was speed. I did a lot of speed, Molly, coke, yeah.
I had a thing with Molly for a while.
Me too. I did that phase, man. It's been a while that I haven't touched that shit, but speed was my thing back in the day, way back when everything started. When it started going downhill for me, it was because I started doing speed.
What made things start going downhill?
It was honestly grade 12, man. Second semester, the rebellious phase that every fucking teenager goes through, right? I'm a really obedient person, I knew where I stood in the household, right? But after, you grow older and you go more mature and you're like, fuck, man, I want to have more slack, and you don't have that slack. Well, you fucking get it yourself, right? I've always been a go-getter. If I want something, I go and get it, right? So
yeah,
if I run away from the house and fucking just go and chill and without permission, and then started smoking weed, and then that shit led to drinking a little bit, underage drinking, and then it's oh, you want to try some speed? What the fuck does that do? It's it just wakes you up, man. The first time I did it was on a bus ride I used to live up north in Timmins, Ontario, and I went to see my dad in Kapuskasing, and I took the bus from Timmins to Kapuskasing. It was a 2-hour bus ride. And the guy I was on, there was a guy on the bus with me, and it was just yo, you want to try that? I'm like, what does it do? It just keeps you up, man, a little bit. In 4 hours, you'll go to bed. I'm like, all right, sure, no problem, man. So take it. I pop in, and I'm like, oh shit, shit's cool, man. Dude, I spent the whole fucking night up at my dad. My dad's like, what the fuck? Why aren't you going to bed? I'm like high on speed, and my dad was he was a drug user, he did his round too. He taught me. And that's at that point that he really taught me, so do it to experience, don't.
Do you think you got your wanting to try these drugs because your dad maybe?
A little bit, but he didn't say try them all. He just said be responsible with it. Don't try to be better than someone else. Don't try to overdo someone else.
Do you feel someone's genes could you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could your genes be the same as your dad's, and you have the same addictive personality? You know what I mean?
100%.
Do you think that's something?
100%.
Yeah, man.
I do believe in that, bro. 100%. So.
That's what I mean by, do you think your dad might be the reason why you have the addictive personality?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you know what? It is the fact that I seen him through all that too. Maybe if my dad would have disappeared, maybe that would have been a different story. Maybe I wouldn't have been more inclined to it, because I wouldn't have grown up with that, you know what I mean? So
you wouldn't have been so intrigued.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how it would turn out. It didn't. So whatever, you deal with it today. But yeah, to go back to what you're saying, yeah, I do kind of in a way think that it was an influence on that. I don't really see it as a negative influence, because I've learned a lot through all that. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, like what?
I've learned, man, that it's not a way of life, man, and it's just it's okay to experience and have some fun responsibly. You know, when it's okay like to have some fun once in a while, but like to abuse of it and like every day and like giving in to that to yourself like that, because I have like given up like on myself, like losing control. That's what I mean by like giving up on yourself. Like you lose control of like just like fuck, and you kind of let it take over you. Like so that's conversation that I had with my dad. It was like like if you like while you do that, you will experience shit like that. Like I have, like he told me I have. So he kind of prepared me for it. So when it happened, I think I've really processed it differently than most people would, because I kind of was not prepared, I guess. You know what I mean? Like I kind of knew what to expect. Like even though I didn't really believe it at first, it still lingered in the back of my mind. And then when those emotions and those events that we will go through in detail happen, well, it just like that whole reflective depression phase, and just being fucking high all the time and that too, and just you're in a different kind of state of mind, and you just think, and you're like, and it just clicked for me. It was just like, nah, man, I gotta get better, I gotta change my life, and I did.
And what were the events that caused you to be like depressed and
like that bad? Like just the relationship with my whole baby mama, man. Like it was like it when she got, because I knew her for a long time. Like she was a good friend of mine for a long time. But when we started dating, like 2 months in, like she got pregnant, right? So then she told me, I'm pregnant. And I had like, I told her straight up, I'm like, you know what? It's up to you what you want to do with it. If you want to keep the child, well, go. Like I'll support you, and if you don't, I'll support you as well. If it were for me, like I'd like you to keep it, because it's like it happens. Everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And then it was good. Like all that phase was good. Then we moved in an apartment together, and then we started living together, because we never lived together. And when you start living with someone else, well, shit's different a bit, right? So
you learn things when you live with people, man.
That's it. Then we started picking at each other, and I was using, and even before that we were both using, and then she stopped. She was pregnant, right?
Yeah.
I was still using. So she was mad, and I was getting mad at that. So it's all like those events that like it really de-escalated from there, and so arguments, and there's violence that happened. Like
violence, like
dude, like I didn't beat her up, but like I punched her once, and it happened like on the day that I wanted to break up. I remember the day.
You're a very honest man.
I am, dude, and I don't care. I'm not shying away from that, bro, because I'm not that kind of guy. And it's like. That day when it happened, it was January 6th. I remember the day, 2016. Okay, that was like the first kind of incident that we had, and I told her I didn't want to be with her anymore. I was like, I didn't feel good, like I was tired of arguing all the time, and and she didn't react well, which is perfectly normal. Nobody reacts well to being like dumped, right? So, and we had the kid together and this and that, so all that was like just going through her mind, and I've put a lot of thought into that, man. Like, and then in the night I was sleeping, and I just got the new phones, iPhones with the fucking thumb scanners there back in the day, and she got mad at me because I got that. But then she went in my phone, and I took a picture of me like shirtless, because I was doing construction. I was really like I was fucking way better looking than this, bro. Like I was fit. So I took a nice picture of myself, and I looked at it and I deleted it. I never sent it to nobody. And she like wakes me up in the middle of the night screaming like, you fucking send that picture, and we just started arguing and back and forth, shoving each other. That lasted like a good 3 hours, man. Like it was like 3 a.m, and when the punch happened, it happened around like 6 a.m.
Damn.
And it's just like escalated. And when it happened, like she pushed me in a corner, like she backed me in a corner. She pushed me 3 times, and to this day, I don't remember my muscle telling me to swing. Like it just happened. It just like paf.
It just
yeah. Like at the third push, like I got pushed and I came back, and it just went, and I punched her. I got knocked her out, man. And I was like, holy fuck.
What happened?
That's when my anxiety problems kicked in. Yeah. That's when I had my first panic attack, and I had like daily, like every second day I'd have a panic attack following that events all the way through 2016.
So 2016 was like a pretty bad year then.
Yeah, and it was the year that I started beat making in the summer after we really broke up, because then we got back together after that incident.
Okay.
You know, I like went to court. I pleaded guilty, bro. Like I didn't fucking play that game, man. Like, you know, like dude, she had like a bruise, bro. Like,
yeah,
you couldn't deny it, man. So like, yeah, man. I said, yeah, like it happened, and you know, I felt bad about it. Did some anger management courses and abusive relationship course, and I've learned a lot from that too. You know, like even though people they think, oh, it's like a wife beater course, bro. Like I recommend people that are like new to relationship to go take that course. You know, just to know like
what did you learn from it?
Boundaries, bro. Like just like, and you are accountable for every action that you do. So if I was at that course, it's because of something that I did. Okay, there were guys there, bro, that were like, oh, it's not my fucking fault, you know, like just then straight up denying it. It's like, okay, what happened? They talk about it,
you just took responsibility
straight away, bro. Like, because it, you know, you're not going there just because like for fun, like, you know, like why would like the court would like send you there for fun because you didn't do it? Like, what the fuck? Like, and just by the character of these guys, you can tell right away that they fucking did it, right?
Yeah.
So they're just in denial, and it's just like it's for me, it was a big wake up call, because like I thought of myself as the biggest piece of shit for the longest time, bro. You know, after that, like, you know, like I
regretted it.
Yeah, man. Like, you know.
So wait, was the baby born at this time?
Yes, the baby was born. Yeah.
So it wasn't when she was pregnant.
No. That was after she gave birth.
Just wanted to clarify.
No, because during the pregnancy, that's when it started going downhill, and then the baby was born, and it was still like going downhill, and it was just like a big slope. And it was a year and a half later after my daughter was born. My daughter was born on April 29, 2014. Okay. So, you know, it's like a year and a half after.
Okay.
So I was thinking about leaving for a good 6 months, bro, like solid, a good 6 months. Like at her first birthday, I was like we had a good time at her birthday party. It's not that. It's just like I really was like not well in the relationship, you know, and in the end, like if I wouldn't have done all that drug shit, I think maybe it possibly would have worked out. Maybe.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so, man. Just because, you know, I hold myself accountable for everything that I do.
That's one thing I've seen with couples, like before, like the woman gets pregnant, like whatever, like say like it's just, for example, like there's a couple, they just get together, they do dope together or whatever, and then one gets pregnant and the other one keeps doing dope. I think the other one's gonna have resentment because like she's trying to stop to protect the baby, and like you're basically shoving it in her face.
Yeah, you know, that's exactly what it was, bro.
So like
it's word per word, that's what it was. You know, at the end of the day, that's what it was. You know, and that's how she felt during that whole process too, you know, and I didn't click onto that for fucking years after, bro. You know, like after a lot of like, you know, getting sober and like really putting my life together and getting a better job, like the last job that I had, like that really changed a lot of shit for me, you know, like, so it's just like, it's just, I changed my life out of sheer will, you know, like I know I wasn't that guy that was popping fucking 5, 6, 7 speeds a day. I know I wasn't that guy. I know I wasn't going to be that guy for the rest of my life, you know. I was born to do something great, to bring something of value to people. And if it's through my story, if it's through my music, man, my job's done, you know, like that's what, it's who I am, bro. Like those events don't define who I am, but it's what I've been through. And those events made me who I am today. And I will never, yes, I regret it. Yeah, I regret all that violence and that whole downhill, because I allowed myself to go there. Yeah. At the end of the day, right? So
it was, you think it was the drugs?
It didn't help. I don't think it helped, man.
What else do you think it caused it?
Well, drugs, really, lack of miscommunication, you know, not knowing how to communicate properly.
So like, no reciprocation?
Yeah, that's
like,
it.
You say something and you just get nothing back, like, or was it you get something back And it was sarcastic or snarky or like.
Well, yeah, kind of like you know.
Give me an example, like.
So my baby mom never really supported me through that music DJing whole shit, right? Like she never really supported me. She never, because she's not for that lifestyle, right? So that bugged me. That was also a like an element, like it was an element in the soup that made the whole shit explode, right?
That could be shitty, man. Like you need someone to support you. Like if your partner's with you, you need them to support you. You know, like
that's it.
Why wouldn't you support my dream if I support your dream? You know
exactly.
What I mean?
You know, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, I'll support.
So I'll
support you,
being
girl.
mad at that.
Of course, man. It was like, because the thing that pissed me off too is because like DJ, the way that I really started DJ, like getting gigs in club, is that DNA and DJ Academy, they had a program going like 2015, man. And Sabrina, which is my baby mom, like she told me, she's like, yo, fucking go there, like try it out, see if you can do something with that. And I did, man, and like, you know, like it was fun, and I actually like blended in with the guys, and I got gigs, and you know, even though I was a bit choppy, like it was still good gigs, like it's just, you know, it was tolerable and shit. And but then she was like, you know, like what if you make it that lifestyle, I don't want you gone all the time and this and that. And that was a big fucking, that was like fire and water, like 100%. That was a big, like that was
complete opposites. Like you want like.
I don't want like the big fame and the bitches, like, and all that. I don't want that.
Get by, man.
I want to get by, man, and I want to bring something of value. And if it needs me to go on tour, like even to this day with my daughter, bro, like I don't think she's old enough for me to go on tour. You know what I mean? Like if she'd be like 14 or something, or like 16 or whatever, like maybe then I could go like on a month and maybe bring her with me or something. You know, like something could happen, but still, right now it's just. Even today, like, you know, she doesn't, even though she sees all that progress that's happening, she still like frowns upon it. You know, she frowns upon because
she's a cold shoulder.
She's afraid that she's afraid that I'm gonna do something about this. You know, like she knows I have that potential, and I know I have that potential, bro. You know what I mean? So it's just. I don't know, man. I think it's just she's scared of success, you know, and it's of my success, and it's okay. And I understand, you know, because it's one or the other, right? Like I'm a kind of guy. I'm a bit of an extremist, right? So it's all or nothing,
yeah.
Right. So, and a constant challenge for me, bro, is to balance like my daughter and my music, because it's easy to put my daughter first, and it's easy to put my music first. You know, like this weekend, bro. Like I was like all weekend with her. I didn't stay home. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do no projects, no beats, no fuck all. Just spent all my time with her. I didn't think none about music. Yeah. You know, so it was all with her. But then, you know, like today and tomorrow, like I don't have her, so it's going to be all about that, right? So it's just really to balance it and to appreciate that balance and to be grateful about it, right? So, but yeah, that just, man, that mental health's a real thing, man. Like that anxiety is not a joke, bro. And like that depression that I felt after like those horrific actions that I did, that I still believe that it doesn't matter, man. She pushed me or she cornered me, bro. Like, you know, I see my dad beat my mom, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know,
again, fuck. It could be something that, you know, man, you see things, man, and sometimes you remake them yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's it, man.
And I'm not trying to say your dad's a bad guy by no means. No. I'm not saying that.
No, at all, bro. I'm not taking it that way at all.
I'm just saying that, like, he's not making the example.
Exactly, but that's what I saw as a kid, right? That's what I saw. My mom never called the cops on my dad, you know? So you know, and I always grew up, and I always I promised myself, bro, I was never going to fucking hit a woman, bro, like ever in any circumstance. And I did that not only to a woman, but to the mother of my child. Fuck, so that really, broke
It's not just a woman, it's
the mother of my child, bro.
Exactly.
You know, that broke me, bro. Like, that really broke me, because I made myself a promise. I broke my own values that day, in that split second.
Do you guys still argue?
Not about that. We argued about petty shit. Honestly.
But no, like when you guys argue, like, does she ever like use that against you?
Ever. ever, bro. We're over that. Like we've had those.
That's good though.
We're really good co-parenters. Like we co-parent our daughter like fucking professionals,
but
bro.
it's good she doesn't use it against you.
No, man. Like
something like a low blow. You
no,
know what I mean?
at all. Like maybe in the first couple of years after, yeah. Like, but dude, in the past 2 years, I have a better relationship with Sabrina now than I had when I was with her. To be honest, like I do. Like I feel I'm, like I actually enjoy, talking to her now. We talk to each other when we swap the kid, and it's like, I'd say, what you did this weekend? What are you doing now? It's interesting. She has a boyfriend that lives with her, and that's, it's all good, bro. Like that's part of life. I'm not mad at her for having a relationship. She's been wanting to have that ever since she was with me, right? Like fucking 5 years ago.
Yeah, she wants that security.
Exactly, and that's her, and that's what she wants. And as long as she's happy, bro, I'm happy. Like I just want the best for her, and and that's the thing too. That with that music, if I can make something out of it, that's good, and I can help them as much as possible, I will, bro. Because that's the mother of my child, whether or not she has a boyfriend or not. Like it's the mother of my child, right? So I broken that promise to myself. Trust me, but I'm not gonna fucking watch her slumber and suffer, and you know what I mean. Like I've done enough. I've done enough.
Like if she's struggling now, like you'll still help her.
Oh yeah, I'll help her. I'll help her boyfriend out even. But they're okay. They're doing good. Like they're doing fucking good for themselves.
I was just saying as an example.
Yeah, yeah.
If she was struggling and she needed something, I'm sure you'd be there.
Yeah, yeah, man.
What she needs, the child needs. Even
like sometimes, man.
Unless she goes out and buys a dress with the money you give her, then the child don't really need it.
But sometimes, bro, like she lends me money and I lend her money. Like say, hey, do you got like fucking $200? Like, I'm sure. It's like, yeah, here we go. Poof, gives me 200, and I pay her back when I got it like a week after. Same goes around her way, So we have a really great relationship, and it took a lot of work. It took a lot of I was really hard on I'm me, like I'm sorry for what I did, and I was trying to make her because she didn't realize.
You might have been making yourself depressed by just constantly beating yourself up.
Of course, bro, but dude, it built my character.
What are you gonna do though? You know what I mean?
Exactly. It really did build my character though, and the way that I'm comfortable to talk about this now. I'm not. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a shit if a million people sees that, bro. Like,
if this happened right after you had that fight and we talked, do you think you would talk about it?
No.
No?
No, because I was in, if we would have that interview, like, fall 2016, I would have said, like, because that's what I did. Also, because there was another incident. I didn't hit her, but I grabbed her by the throat, and like that was the end of the relationship after we got back from the first fight. So it didn't fucking help, bro. Anyways, so that was the end. And if we would have done that interview, I would have told that she's fucking lying about it, bro, because that's what I did. I lied to everybody. I lied to my friends. I lied to my family. I lied to everybody, bro. I lied to myself. You know what I mean? Like, piece of shit move. I lied to myself, bro, for a year and a half.
Man,
for a year and a half.
You definitely put yourself into, like, almost a rock bottom hole, man, with no rope or ladder. You're down there, bro.
In my reality, that was my rock bottom. To date, in my life, that was my rock bottom. After I got, convicted guilty, I didn't go to jail. I got probation, fuck, whatever. But still, just the fact that, like, I spent all that money, I had my family spend all that money to help me out, and I was fucking lying through it all. Not so impressive, bro. So that's when, after this happened, family court was on, and I got like super straight, bro. Like, I quit drugs, I quit smoking weed for like a year, bro. Like, everything was good, man, and like I got my parental rights, everything was fine. And sure enough, I did mushroom trips with my baby mama. After all that shit was done, we did a mushroom trip together. We talked about shit like that, and it was nice. And then our relationship got better from there, So it took work and time, and it took a lot of self-reflecting, man.
Yeah, you needed to reflect on yourself, definitely.
That's it. I didn't focus on her, like, you focus on yourself, like, you fucking see what you did. Yeah, I did it a couple times. Message got through. It did, but I wasn't pestering her with it. I said it maybe like a handful of times, and it's like, fucking just look at what you did instead of like always blaming me, like putting me as the bad guy. I know that I fucked up. I know, man. I'm here fucking crying in front of you because I know that I fucked up. And you're still like putting me in my face, like, fuck you, you know. So she realized that through the years, and we talked about it, bro. And I think there's
you guys got older too.
Yes, like
that was a while back. When you look at it right now, it's a while back already, man.
Yeah.
So how old's your daughter now?
7.
See, yeah. Time flies, bro.
Fuck yeah, dude. 7 years old, man. It's crazy, bro. But yeah.
7 years old. What's her name?
Rose.
Nice name. Nice name.
Yeah, it was instantly when she said, should we call her Rose? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Go, man. I don't know. I kind of had that name in mind, but I wasn't gonna come up with the name.
If it's intuition, then it's right.
Exactly.
If it's in your stomach, then you know.
Yeah, and you know, even you're talking about that in my stomach. Like when Sabrina told me she was pregnant, bro. Like, you know, some people, like, if I would knock a girl up tomorrow, you know, like a one night stand, I'd be like, I don't know if I want to keep it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, cause I knew that in my soul, like, she was gonna be an important person in my life, whether it was gonna be positive or negative. That it just felt right to do it. It just felt right to, like, yeah, like, keep it if you want to, man. If you don't, I'll support you. But if you want to keep it, I'll be there for you and the kid till my last breath, man. You know, maybe today I'm not there for her in the present, like in the physical sense, but I'm there for my daughter as fuck. And I'm never, you know, like, man, after you break one of your own values and you really go into that dark hole, man, you like, I've
find a lot of shit.
I found myself, but I reinvented myself. You know, like, I evolved, bro. Like, all this negative, man, like, it's like a diamond, right? Diamond are created under pressure, right? So
yeah,
you know, all that pressure, I think it really made me somebody that I can be, you know, proud of today. You know, I can preach that kind of shit, man, and like, people will listen, people will hear me out, man, because I'm, you know, everybody's accountable for their actions, whether it's with abuse, mental health, you know, well, not mental health, abuse, drug abuse, you know, like anything, you know, it's
not mental health,
because you don't ask for that shit, bro. You don't.
That shit doesn't discriminate.
No, that's it, man. Like, I didn't ask to be depressed. I didn't ask to go to depression. I didn't ask to be on fucking, like, anxiety pills and being fucking zombie, man. And you know, I didn't ask for that shit, you know. So, you know, some are. I don't think some is, man. It was always there, bro. Even from an early childhood, man. You'll see my fucking dad, you know, beating my mom and just being a fucking piece of shit, you know, like, it's all anxiety. Then being bullied too, man. I was bullied as a kid like a fucking motherfucker, man, because my dad was the town druggie, man.
We might get into that. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
You said your dad was the quote-unquote town druggie and you were bullied for that?
Yeah. So when I grew up as a kid, like, you know, I was born here in Ottawa, 3 years old, moved to Northern Ontario, a little town called Hearst. Most motherfuckers would know that. It's like the little Quebec of Ontario. Everybody speaks French there, okay? So I grew up there. So from 3 to 14, grew up there, and my dad was one of the first people in Canada to get a federal exemption for marijuana. So, like, to get a permit to grow and smoke marijuana. That was like in 1996, you know, like 1996, 1997, right? So,
wow.
Yeah, bro. So it was early back in the days, right? So that shit was still super taboo, bro. Like, Dare still talked about that shit being fucking more dangerous than cigarette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, but after a while, when I was growing up, you know, like, I had this shit in front of me. You know, like, my dad was growing plants in the house. Like, he kept it away from me until I was 6. I like opened his fucking grow room, and I was like, holy shit, what is that? And then they're like, hey, you're not supposed to go in there, and then they sat me down a couple days after, and they explained it to me what it was. They brought me in there, they showed me the plants and what it was, and then they showed me that you know, when the weed that's shredded in a grinder. So I was seeing my dad do that all the time. He would, like, roll grass in the fucking paper, you know, like. So I was like, what the fuck's going on? So they explained all that to me, and it's medication for my dad, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I thought, as a kid, you know, you think you can trust a guy, right? You think you can trust a friend, right? But fucking snakes all around, right? So you're not supposed to say that to anyone, but say my dad, and say he smokes marijuana and it's his medication. And that guy went around and told fucking everybody that my dad was smoking drugs and he was smoking pot, and their parents knew about that, and the cops got involved, and everybody fucking knew about it. The cops were after our ass, like, all the time. when I was a kid. I grew up not with police brutality, but close enough. You know, like police, like almost, you know, like just like stalking us and always watching us and always watching my dad. And
yeah.
It's like, it was shit, and I was getting bullied at school for that, man. Like, oh, your dad's a druggie. No. It's like, what the fuck? Getting pushed around. Like, kids would not want to play with me because of that.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's like, what did I do wrong? Like, I'm just, you know, and you ask yourself that as a kid when you're bullied. It's like, why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do?
Yeah, you do.
You know, like, what did I do?
You do ask yourself that, man. Trust me. I was bullied, too. I know how it feels.
So, fuck, man.
I mean, the bullying, I got through pretty easy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, some people don't. Like, this story seems very interesting.
So, yeah, man. So
you were bullied. The cops were harassing you guys.
Yeah, and one time, the cops... My dad, the way he got his marijuana license, he was working in a plywood mill. So that's why we moved to her. So he was working in a plywood mill, and he got injured. And he had, you know when you get spasms, like a cramp in your leg or something? Yeah. Well, he has that in his trapeze here. So he's always stuck like this for the rest of his life. Like, he's seized up like that. So he had a collar, like a fucking neck brace for the longest time. And he was smoking pot to relieve the pain, right? To relieve the muscle and relieve the pain. Okay. So, yeah, anyway, so he got hurt. And I don't know. Oh, yeah. So then my dad was like, actually, like, with the neck brace and everything, and we're going to school, leaving the apartment, and as soon as my dad pulled out, there was a cop car that was coming down the street. And he's like, "Are you tied up?" I'm like, "No," because I was trying to tie myself up, and I was all jammed. Then I stopped, and then I seen the cop, so I stopped moving. He's like, "Are you tied down?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, fucking tie yourself down." So I go, and back in the, like, I was 8 or something, I was sitting in the front seat. So back in the day, it wasn't the same rules, right? Yeah. And the cops seen me fucking trying to put my belt, so fucking the cops sure enough turned around, and we were about not even 2 kilometers from the school, right? So we had to go down the street, turn left, and then turn another street, and the school was right down the street, so it wasn't that far away. Okay. The cop followed us all the way to the school with the cherries on. My dad didn't stop, pulls me at school. Here, go play in the yard. I'll deal with this. They fucking put my dad in handcuffs, man, right in front of the school, in front of everybody, man. Like, my dad was screaming, dude. My dad, like, he had the repercussions in his neck because of that.
Yeah.
And that fucking cop, he's a local cop in like around where I live too. Man. So, like, I grew up hating cops, bro. And that day, man, I never felt so much embarrassed, and I got fucking teased, man, for years and years on end, man. Now, at least my dad doesn't get arrested in front of the school, you know, like, low blows like that. Oh, yeah. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, come on.
Yeah, my kids are cruel. Like, we don't realize it. Like,
kids are fucking assholes.
We were probably like that too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We don't realize it.
Exactly, dude. 100%. 100%.
We don't realize it's a rebellious stage or anything. We're just growing up and fucking following by example.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I see this. My friends are seeing it and doing it. All right. You know what I mean?
That's it, man.
But yeah, that's a crazy story.
Yeah.
I think people who listen to this episode are gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah, dude, and that's not even all
crazy.
of it.
It's crazy that he was one of the first people to have the marijuana license.
Yeah.
It's like back in the 90s.
Yeah. Like,
bro.
look up Robert and Neron, Neron, or Willie Jack on Google, and you'll see my dad. Okay, you'll see a neck brace, you'll notice him with a gray neck brace. He's like, since 1996, he's been a marijuana advocate. He did fucking rallies on the Parliament Hill here in Ottawa, in Toronto. Like, he was an activist. He's still an activist. Well, not anymore because it's legal, but he was a big activist, man. And, you know, and he was standing for his cause, and he had his vision, he had his drive. And I always thought that I had this from my dad, that wanting to make an impact in the society.
Even though there's some negative things that you saw and got, there's some positives too. You know,
of course, man.
You see his ambition, even with like a neck brace and season. Yep. He's going to different places. Like, people don't want to be going around when they're in pain, man.
That's it, man.
You know what I mean? Like, pain. Like my dad has back pain. Like, every day, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like regular back pain. He has arthritis in the spine. So,
fuck.
Like, it's his back. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
all it's the support system. Thing. Fuck, yeah.
So, like, and he's a forklift driver. So, like, think of the bumps and shit.
Yeah,
you know
that's rough. I did that for a couple of years, man.
Like, on the side, like, your dad doing, like, that type of thing and being, like, one of the first with the license is crazy. I mean, that's a crazy story. Like, that's what I'm talking about. This show is so different than all the other shows because, like, what other show would you hear this shit? If you could tell me another show you would hear this shit, then I'll shut the fuck up about it.
That's it.
Anybody that's listening, if they could tell me a show that talks about the same shit about, like I do, with my guests, then fucking tell me and I'll shut the fuck up about it on every show because, like, we hear some shit on the show. I'm serious.
Yeah, man. Dude, like, that whole fucking...
I am going to Google your dad.
Yeah, dude, do it, man. Anybody Google my dad, man. Check it out. Robert Neron. Neron. So check that shit out, man. But, dude, that cop shit at the school, that was just the beginning, man. Cops busted my dad because they knew he had plants and shit, right? So and his license got expired at one point, and the whole process of getting a license renewed was like a whole fucking shit show, right? So if you're like 2 weeks late on like when you're supposed to send your letter, because it wasn't done by computer, you had to fucking send a letter, right? So you have to send the letter at the right time. If you're 2 weeks late, man, and the cops knew, they would come and bust you on the first day that your license expired. And that's what happened to my dad, bro. They fucking busted in. They like busted my dad, drug charge. They broke all my toys, bro. They fucking opened some of my toys because they thought weed was stashed in my toys, man. Like fucking pigs, man. Like, who would fucking put weed in their kids' toys, okay? Like, I don't think crackhead would stash crack in their fucking kids' toys. You know what I mean? Like, I doubt it. But, like, you know, man, come on, wake up, guys. Like, OPP, bud, like, I've never had respect for cop for that. And, you know, and today, yes, there is good cops and there are bad cops. Absolutely, 100%. But, man, like, that was one thing. Like, my dad got busted, like, 4 times when I was, like...
It's more like you don't respect authority than you don't respect cops. Because, like, you say there's good cops and bad cops, and it shows that you have somewhat of, like, a respect for what they do.
Of course, man. Like,
they have a dangerous job.
Exactly. They put their life on the line every day, you know? Like,
but there's some shit that they could fucking fix because, like, they're not fucking like clean. They're not like clean as a whistle. You know what I mean?
That's it. But it's like small town cops, man. It's just and shit like that.
Small town cops are worse than fucking cops in the city because they just target whoever because they're fucking bored.
Yeah, like Hearst, 5,000 people that live there, bro. It's not a big town. It's not a big city, bro. There's not even a Walmart in Hearst. You know, like there's a Canadian Tire. You know, that's about it. But like, there's no Walmart there, bro. So, like, for fuck's sakes, like, of course, at 5,000, you know, and cops, they have nothing to do in Hearst, really, right? There's not a whole lot to do. So, it's that whole cycle, that whole series of events that just made me hate cops growing up. But as I got older and more mature, you know, there was cops that gave me a lot of breaks. You know, for stupid shit that I did, bro. Like, I could have been in jail a good 5 times, bro, and I didn't because I stumbled upon good cops, you know. So, just made me realize the whole other side of the coin, you know. Like, I'm a really realistic person, right?
Yeah,
like
2 sides to the coin.
To everything, right? And that's the whole brand that I want to represent too. Is the balance, you know, like Kin on the beat, like Kin Nor, and like, which is like my first name. It's Nick. Like Nick Neron, like my name, but backwards because it's like my alter ego, right? So it's like that other side of like pretty much everybody has that wants to let loose and that wants to, you know, have some fun and that wants to be something greater than themselves. Everybody has that inside of them. Yeah. So that's what I represent with everything, you know, like, yeah, I've been down the dark path, but I came out the other side. I'm coming out the other side. I may go back down again in my life in a dark path, but I'll come back out stronger, you know, and it's just the whole balance of life, you know. Nothing is going to be pink forever, bro. Like, life, it's not a fucking straight journey. It's not a rainbow journey, you know? Like, it's like you don't go up and then you go down. It's a fucking roller coaster. You go up, down, sideways, fucking flip backwards, take a couple steps back. You know, like, that's what it is, man. So if I can represent that and help people realize that everybody has a greater potential in them regardless of their situation, preach, motherfucker, preach.
All right. So, I was thinking for the outro track for this episode, we should do If You're Real.
Absolutely. Fucking right.
Yeah?
Yeah, If You're Real. Yeah.
You want to introduce it?
Absolutely.
And talk about it a little bit? We talked about it before, but you could explain it like you did the other track.
Absolutely. So If You're Real, really, the whole vibe that what I got from Bully Zone and DL, the way that they wrote these songs, because Bully Zone and DL, they know each other from like way back, right? Like DL was a kid and knew Bully from like his old lifestyle, right? So
yeah.
Growing up,
talks a little bit about that on the season.
That's it, right? So Bully, he knew that he could do that kind of track, like If You're Real, like, and the way that we wrote it, it's not a typo, it's not a misspell. Like people say, oh, you fucking got the spelling wrong. No, it's If You're Real. Like, are you real? Like, is your real? Like, you're a real motherfucker. Do you really represent the real you? Like, if you're real, you know. And then the way that they rolled the track and the lyrics involved, like, you know, Bully approved of what Shane was saying in his lyrics because he knows that Shane was about that life. And, you know, Shane, DL doesn't spit bullshit. He says what he raps, you know, like, so that's why DL is a good artist, man. And that's why If You're Real, it's about, like, you know, just, are you a real motherfucker, man? You're real with yourself, you know?
I feel you.
So, yeah. It's pretty much that. That's what I got from it. But, yeah.
So, that's what we're going to be listening to. This has been another episode of On the Line with, episode 6, season 2. Here with Kin on the Beat, hosted by your boy Hanley. You already know.
That's right.
So we're going to take you out with If You're Real. That's Dirty Laundry featuring Bully Zone, produced by Kin on the Beat. If you're looking for Kin on the Beat, tell them where they can find you again.
You can find me on Instagram, Kin on the Beat. You can find me SoundCloud, Kin on the Beat, as well as YouTube, Kin on the Beat. Find me on my BeatStar. You can go on there. It's kinotb.beatstars.com. You can check out the beats that I got for sale there too. And Twitter is Kin Norn. That's all my links, bro.
All right. Thanks to all the listeners. And if there's any new listeners, thank you for joining us. Again, this has been On the Line with Hanley, featuring Kin on the Beat.
That's right.
So, I appreciate you coming out, brother.
No problem, man. Thank you, bro. Thanks for having me on. This is a great episode, man. Felt good to talk about that.
What is all, baby? Dirty Laundry.
Yeah.
Hey.
Fuck em. Fuck it when you headed at. If you real, then you know the money handle that. If they hate, then we use it as a leverage. If they want that hit, then fuck it, we gon' send them that. Hold back, got a pop in a melon cap. She hot, thought I bob, got a melon down. Too busy, fucking good, and then she coming back. We gon' run the numbers steady, headed for a flag.
Running for the numbers got me sitting on a bag. And we sitting real pretty, tell us simply we don't lag. I've been getting to this money, I've been filling up the bank. Plus I heard you is a pussy, and I heard that pussy stank. Boss, and I do my shit differently. Cold-hearted motherfucker still got that old pimp in me. Listen me, for me it's only victory. Fuck with me, I swear I light him up just like a Christmas tree. He history, another unsolved mystery. Epiphanies, me being what I meant to be. No switching me, I'ma get it. Ain't no bitching me, fucking me. Nah, it's fuck 'em in parentheses.
Fuck 'em. Fuck it when you headed at. If you real, then you know the money handle that. If they hate, then we use it as a leverage. If they want that hit, then fuck it, we gon' send them that. Hold back, got a pop in a melon cap. She hot, thought I bob, got a melon down. Too busy, fucking good, and then she coming back. We gon' run the numbers steady, headed for a flag. Set me free, break me off, cut me loose. We gon' manifest the dream, and that's the motherfucking truth. Set it off, we can make her put it on. She gon' take it off. I'm the money man, I'm gon' make her make the money call. If you not fucking with me, we gon' brush you off. If you never done the time, I label you a fraud. I need a bag to dip and split with all my dogs. DL, the trash mouth, that will never stop. on a drill vibe and a trap sound. I just smoked a half pound, then I passed out. I'm the one that they ask about, never one to bad mouth. Get that fucking money, then I cash. Fuck em. Fuck it when you hit it. If you real, then you know the money handle that. If they hate, then we use it as a leverage. If they want that hit, then fuck